Today we're going to learn how to put on a gentle leader. So this is Millie. I'm going to start by trying to desensitize her to this because this can be kind of funny going over the dog's mouth. So a lot of the times when I first train it, we'll do this. Good girl. So the goal of this is to get her nose closer and closer through this loop. Good girl. You get some more yummy treats. Treats are really important to have with you when you're working with a dog. Notice how I give quite a bit of space between Millie and I. I don't want to be leaning over her if I can help it. If it's a dog I trust, I can always lean down a little bit beside them too, but I don't like to go straight on for fear that that can be really intimidating to the dog. I don't want them to back away from me. So once she's pretty comfortable with this, a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll then, I know it's kind of hard with her hairy face, is put this over the top. So her mouth is through, take it down, do it again, hold it there for just a few seconds, take it back. Good girl. Good girl. Good job. And eventually, what you'll be able to do is have some yummy treats. You'll put that in. Good girl. And then this part goes up and clips behind the dog's head. So once that's on, again, you'll give treats. A lot of the times I'll take it right back off. Good girl, Millie. Good girl. And we'll just repeat that exercise until the dog feels comfortable. A lot of the times it's really strange for the dog to have something, on their nose. So sometimes it'll be a little tricky, but the minute they start getting used to it, good girl. Again, her poor little face gets so smushed with all of her hair. Good girl. And take it off. And a lot of times what I would do right here is give a break. So you just want to do it a few times. You may not get to all of those steps on the first try, but just being a little bit persistent. If the dog's uncomfortable, then maybe you only get them to take treats through the opening at first. And then maybe your next session, you're just putting a little bit of pressure right there on the top of her nose. A little bit more about the gentle leader mechanics, I guess, if you will. This part right here goes over the dog's snout. You'll notice that this is a little bit adjustable. This clip, when it's undone, you can make this any length that you'd like. The goal is not to keep the dog's mouth closed. So this is not a muzzle, rather than just a tool to help guide the dog's head and prevent pulling. So right here, you can put it in place. It locks, so that's not gonna move. This part, again, goes over the dog's muzzle. And then it's similar to a buckle collar. You'll have two pieces that snap right behind the dog's ear. So it's going to be right up here behind their ears, kind of at the top of their neck. Once that's secured, obviously you want to make sure this isn't sliding down. The goal is to make sure it doesn't go off the dog's snout. And if that is the case, you can take it off. You can move this up a little bit and make this not as loose on top of their mouth. The leash then connects to this little ring right underneath the chin. So when the dog starts going, you can direct the dog back and get the dog's attention back on you. So a few things to be aware of when you're using a gentle leader. Obviously you don't want to go too far too fast. If you have a dog that's dropping to the ground, that's starting to roll on you, that's pawing at their face a lot, that means you've gone too far or too quick, too fast in your training. So you'll just want to slow things down and make sure that they're comfortable wearing it before you just hook it on and start going outside on a walk or working with your dog. Another thing is if you have your leash and your dog decides to take off sprinting, the last thing that you want to do is pull back. You'll notice the whole neck of the dog will pull back towards you. That's definitely not good for their neck, for their face. In those types of situations, you'll want to kind of go with the dog and then have treats, toys, use your voice to try to call the dog back to you instead of using your leash. We never want to do leash corrections with the gentle leader. I want to make sure that she's keeping her attention on me. I have little pieces of yummy treats that I just take a few steps Good girl. And make sure I treat her so she enjoys this experience and looks forward to our times out wearing her gentle leader. Millie. Good girl. Millie. Good girl. Yes. Good girl.